In this video, I'm gonna be ranking every type of ad creative you can run going into 2026. And I'll do it for one simple reason. With Andromeda, the type of ad creative you're running is hands down the most important thing to get right. And after spending the last decade creating ads that spent well over $400 million across e-commerce brands like True Classic, Exter, OG, and hundreds more, I've learned that most brands are either wasting budget on creative formats that just don't convert, or worse, they're sleeping on the ones that are absolutely crushing it right now. So today, I'm ranking every major type of ad creative in 2026, from the S-tier formats I've been able to put over $1 million through, all the way down to the D-tier stuff that you'll probably want to avoid completely. Every tier is based on 4 criteria: how well it scales when you put real budget behind it, how easy it is to produce, how versatile it is across different products and niches, and ultimately, how well it converts. And by the end of the video, you'll know exactly which creative formats to prioritize so you can stop throwing money at the wrong things and start actually scaling. Let's start with ad creatives that target an unaware audience. These are people who don't even know they have a problem. They're not looking for you. They're scrolling through their feed, and your goal is to interrupt them with something that entertains, sparks curiosity, or makes them relate. You're not really selling anything here, you're planting a seed.
One more big push, babe, you got it. Babe, he's beautiful.
Look, he even came with an expensive t-shirt on.
It's actually not that expensive. It's a true classic tee. So it's tying the arms and chest, and it's loose in the front. His first words.
I feel like he looks kind of weird.
Hey!
No, they all come out looking that way.
I love you, Dad. I love you too, son.
True Classic is by far one of the best brands at creating these scripted, character-driven mini scenarios where the product is woven in naturally, and it feels more like an entertainment than an ad. The only reason why this is not an S tier is logistics. To do Skits right, you're essentially running a small Hollywood production. It takes time, it costs real money, and you're going all in on a concept before you even know if it works. But when Skits work, they can carry the account. If your product has real viral potential and you have budget and the brand awareness play in mind, absolutely consider it. This is an A tier.
Hey, we're the extra travel pack vacuum. Get us if you're tired of paying for baggage fees, and we'll make packing so much easier for you.
No, you don't need a bigger suitcase.
You need less air. We handle that. Get us while we're still in stock because we fly.
This is the type of ad where you take a wild creative idea and you produce it fast without a crazy budget. The real power here is that you can put your product in an extreme situation, and I mean dramatically extreme, and show how it solves the problem in a way that you just couldn't do with a standard shoot. Relative to what you'd spend on a shoot, it's incredibly cost effective. The main challenge is that the product has to look right. It has to feel native to the animation style. If the product looks off or out of place, the whole thing falls apart. But when it's done correctly, when the product is shown the right way and the scenario is compelling, it's a great ad. Absolutely worth testing. I'll give it an A tier.
So check this out, when you actually cut on these plastic cookboards, if you actually look at what happens afterwards, you see all these plastic shavings. You want to talk about microplastics? These things are terrible to cut on. I got these Caraway chemical-free cutting boards. I'll actually flip this one over because I'm worried about that side of the cutting board. And they make an excellent place to actually just cut your meats, your vegetables, your fruits. I'm making this for an actual lemon tea, and I've gone completely chemical-free. These cutting boards are completely chemical-free. No outgassing, no glues, and certainly no microplastics.
This is probably my favorite ad format of all time. You show the problem, you agitate it, you deliver the solution. When the problem is relatable and real, and the product genuinely solves the problem in a way that's obvious and makes it easy to understand, this format is absolutely unstoppable. And if you pair it with a real industry authority like this ad, you can do real damage. This is S tier by far. Now let's move on to ads for an audience that's problem aware. These are people who know something's up. They feel the pain, the bad skin, the low energy, the clutter at home, but they haven't connected the problem to a specific solution yet. The ads that work here dramatize the problem and then point to relief.
So bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright.
You show the transformation where your customer is right now and where they desire to be. If done right, this is, to this day, one of the most powerful ads you can run online, period. It works incredibly well for products that take time to show results. Think of beauty, skincare, hair, supplements. When the audience sees themselves in the before and really want the after, you've already done 90% of the selling. We are gonna go again with S tier.
I'm a 48-year-old dermatologist who has access to everything, and I want to help you look your best at any age so you don't end up looking like this or this. Sign up for my newsletter to learn more.
Think about a doctor, an esthetician, a dentist, a nutritionist, someone with real credentials, explaining why your product works and why it's the right solution. I love this format. We've seen ad accounts completely explode just of a single great expert testimonial. A regular customer testimonial is good, we'll see it later in the video, but when a credentialed expert puts their name behind your product, it removes a whole layer of doubt. I'll give it an A tier.
Can we be real for a second here? Dry toilet paper is not enough to get the job done. You feel like you're clean, but you're just setting yourself up for an unclean booty.
These are the Poopery flushable wipes, and they fully replace toilet paper for me. They're certified flushable, septic safe, aloe, oat extract, vitamin E, no weird stuff. And they clean better than toilet paper without wrecking your plumbing. Plus, the packaging is cute enough to leave out. My two favorite are the cucumber aloe or unscented, so it feels fresh but not overpowering.
If you're still using dry toilet paper only, this is your sign. Get it today.
This is where you challenge a false belief the audience holds about the category. What you've always been told is actually wrong. It creates surprise, it creates curiosity, and by busting the myth, you position your product as the fresh, credible alternative. Works especially well when the alternative to your product is something that everybody uses. Like the toilet paper in the example here, everybody uses it, so the moment someone starts talking about why it doesn't actually work, everybody's potentially interested. If done right, this is another great one, so I'll give it an A tier.
This is your sign to stop buying cheap pans every year. You know the ones. They're great for a month, then everything sticks and the handle gets loose. Hexclad changed the game. It's one pan that does it all. Non-stick, scratch resistant, and actually built to last. I use it every day, and it still looks brand new. One-time purchase. Lifetime results.
This is where you essentially tell people not to buy certain things. You're calling out what's wasteful, what doesn't work, and then you position your product as a smarter alternative. It's contrarian by nature, it builds trust because you're showing you're not afraid to challenge the market. Done well, it's compelling. But it's more of a trend, and like all trends, it has a shelf life. It still works, but I wouldn't build a whole strategy around it. More of a nice addition to your rotation than a pillar format. Definitely not an S, I would give it a C. This is a clean, simple, static ad, and it's incredibly easy to produce. With AI right now, you can make hundreds of these in a matter of minutes. Is this going to change the trajectory of your brand? Probably not, but it's one of the best ways to test new angles quickly and cheaply. So let's give it a B tier. Now look, knowing which formats to use is a solid start, but here's the problem I see with most e-commerce brands. Creative is still the main bottleneck. There's a lot of content out there, they know what good looks like, they just can't produce it consistently. Scripting, filming, editing, iteration, it's a full operation, and most teams don't have the bandwidth or the system to do it at the level that actually moves the needle. And that's exactly what we solve. We have a done-for-you creative service where we handle everything, from scripting to concept all the way through delivering the final ads ready to launch. We've been doing this for years across some of the biggest brands in e-commerce, and we've just opened up a few new slots for clients. If interested, there's a link in the description. These new slots will fill out fast, so book a call and I'll talk to you soon. That said, let's keep going because I have quite a few rankings left, and I believe some of them will be pretty controversial. Third stage is solution aware. Now we're talking to people who know they have a problem, they want to solve it, and know that there are some solutions out there, they just don't know about yours yet. The ads that win here are educational, comparative, and built on credibility.
Did you know you could have poop sitting in your gut for 5 months? When old stool hardens, it sticks to your colon walls. It's like a layer of sludge buildup in old pipes that just slows everything down. If your gut is sluggish or you're under a lot of stress, your digestion slows down, which gives your colon more time to absorb water from your stool. That's what makes it dry, hard, and sticky. And over time, that residue builds up. Even if you're technically going every day, you might not be clearing everything out. That turned out to be the reason I felt constantly bloated and sluggish. And I wish I could say eating more fiber or inhaling gallons of water helped, but all it did was make me go a little bit more regularly and never touch that stuck feeling. That's when I started researching deeper gut support, and turns out there are natural remedies like adaptogenic mushrooms. I found a blend that combines mushrooms like turkey tail, which feeds good gut bacteria, reishi, which helps to reduce stress, and cordyceps, which supports energy and motility. They don't force your gut to move like laxatives. They support your whole digestive environment, so your system can actually work the way it's supposed to. This stuff is like coffee, but so much better for your gut and overall digestion, and it tastes so good too. So it's easy to stick to every day. After weeks of drinking this every morning, I can confidently say that my stomach looks flatter. I'm not constantly thinking, why do I feel so full? This stuff is 100% organic, third-party tested, and sourced right here in California with over 250,000 5-star reviews.
This format is great for products that represent the new solution in their category and require some education to understand why they're better than the classic alternative. You open by challenging the solution people are already adopting, and you back it up with a rational explanation. If done properly, this ad absolutely crashes. So I'll give it an A tier.
Migraines, nervous system dysfunction, feeling tense, feeling wired but tired, feeling overwhelmed. So as a functional medicine doctor, I have always understood the science, but experiencing it in my own body showed me just how much the nervous system runs the show when it comes to chronic illness. So the vagus nerve is at the center of that system. It starts in the brainstem, it travels down both sides of the neck, and then it continues into the chest and the abdomen. It innervates our gut, which is so important. It communicates with our heart, our lungs. It deals with inflammation pathways and pain pathways. So when you're stuck in that fight or flight, that vagus nerve signal of safety never reaches the body. So cortisol stays high, muscles stay tight, and pain cycles like migraines will continue. So this is why I started using this device right here called the Pulsetto. So the Pulsetto sits on the side of the neck where the vagus nerve runs closest to the surface, and it delivers a gentle stimulation, and it's actually clinically shown to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So it signals your body to let it know you're safe now. It slows down your heart rate, deepens breathing, and it helps to regulate pain signaling loops, which is really cool. Breathwork does a lot of great stuff like this, but this gets to it like that. You do it for 4 minutes a day. There's no pills, no side effects. You feel such a different the minute you are done. So for me, it kind of felt like somebody finally turned down the volume on my stress. My migraines became less frequent. My body actually shifted out of that high alert, and I've really started to feel like myself again, because stress can make you feel not like yourself at all. So if you're waking up tense, you're lying in bed with a racing mind, or you can't fully exhale, this may be the support your nervous system has been missing. And if you're struggling with chronic illness, you will not get better until your nervous system can signal your body that it's time to rest and repair.
You walk the viewer clearly through what the product is, how it works, and why it's the best option in the market. The goal here is to make your product feel like the obvious, no-brainer choice by the end. Once the ad is done, the viewer should feel like they understand the product better than any other alternative out there. And we give the explainer, give it another A. It's an A format by far.
3 reasons to ditch generic body wash. Number 1, you're scrubbing your balls with detergent.
Most body washes are classified by the FDA as synthetic detergent. That's stuff that you wash your dishes, clothes, and toilets with.
Number 2, women hate the smell of body wash.
There is nothing worse than a guy who smells like a teenager or his grandma. Dr. Squatch makes you smell like a man should smell, like a sexy lumberjack in a forest.
Number 3, Dr. Squatch exfoliates better than body wash.
Dr. Squatch exfoliates your skin naturally with ingredients like oatmeal, sea salt, and sand.
I can feel it getting into my pores.
You've got to do this for your girl. They won't be able to keep their hands off you. You've got to try Dr. Squatch.
3 reasons why this works, 5 benefits you didn't know about. The format sets a clear expectation and makes complex products feel digestible. That said, in 2026, I'm starting to see some fatigue here. It used to be the shiny new concept, but now it's literally everywhere. It still converts, but it wouldn't make it the centerpiece of a new brand launch. So we put the Listicle in the B tier.
If you wouldn't skip moisturizer for your face, then why are you skipping caring for your scalp? This is Divi Scalp Serum, and this little bottle gives you a full month of scalp care. This is a water-based serum, so you could use it on a wet or dry hair without having to worry about it being greasy or weighing your hair down. It's packed with copper peptides to support scalp health, caffeine to energize your roots, and amino acids to strengthen hair from the root up. This lightweight formula nourishes, it reduces buildup, and creates the best environment for thicker, healthier looking hair. If you're already taking care of your skin, it's time to take care of your scalp too. Start with Divi Scalp Serum and give your scalp the love it deserves.
This is very easy to make, and that's a big part of the appeal. You show the product as part of a daily routine. Morning skincare, evening wind down, cooking workflow, and the product placement feels completely natural. It doesn't feel like an ad, it feels like a friend is almost like showing you what they use. It's solid, it won't carry the account, but it's consistent and relatively low cost to produce. So in this case, we'll give it another B tier. These are ingredient static. Products with ingredients, think of supplements, skincare, food, where you break down what's inside. It works, it turns your product from just another option into a credible science-backed solution. It's nothing flashy, but it's a staple in any supplement or skincare account, and for a good reason. I'll give it a B tier. Then we have the graph static. Charts, bars, progress visuals showing measurable results over time. Like the hair growth example here, where you can show different percentages week by week. It still works as part of a diversified account, but it's definitely not going to be the hero. In this case, I'll give it a C for the amount of spend that I've seen behind these ads. Stage 4 is product aware. Now, these people already know about your product, they're circling around, but they're not convinced yet. What they need is trust, social proof. And the ads that win here lean heavily on authority, reviews, and storytelling.
I had my transplant in February, so I've just hit the 7-month mark. I had 4,800 grafts. It was about a 6-7 hour session. Anyone on the fence, I can't recommend it enough. It's honestly changed my life, and I'd do it all over again in terms of the actual procedure. Yes, there's a little bit of pain, but in terms of what you get out of it, it's nothing. So if anyone needs any help, give us a shout, or speak to the guys on the team. All the consultants are fantastic, and yeah, absolutely faultless.
One of the most powerful ad formats that exists. When you find the right person, it's an absolute banger. And that's the real challenge, because not everyone is great on camera. But when you do find that person who's deeply relatable to your target audience, someone who had the same problem, they found the same solution and can deliver it in a natural way, it's magic you cannot fake. You want to keep it raw, slight imperfections, pauses, filler words, a real background, make it feel more true. And in this case, I'll give Testimonials. If done properly, this is S tier. Those satisfying close-up shots, the crinkle of packaging, the pour, the click, very simple concept. And look, I'll be straight with you, this is basically the old style of ads. I don't see ASMR crushing it the way they used to. It's a nice piece of content for someone who's already been on your website, already watched your product. It's cute, but it doesn't move stock. So in this case, I'll have to give my first D tier.
All right, guys, I'm on my way back from the Bengals game, and I ran into this guy right here. He claims to have made the most men's t-shirt on the planet. You're not going to believe what it's made from. Sell me on it.
All right, so I literally became obsessed years ago with creating the most blank tee on the planet, because everything on the market right now is performance tees, which are made of polyester. Polyester is just plastic. You do not want plastic on your skin for a whole host of reasons. So we started researching, discovered a few natural fibers. The first being hemp, Earth's most durable fabric, strongest natural fiber on the planet. Discovered bamboo, which is insane airflow. So we decided we were going to combine those fibers together. The problem was every manufacturer told us it was impossible, that it cannot be done. Those fibers are different. They can't be intertwined together. So what we did was hundreds of thousands of dollars in R&D, spent over a year perfecting it, and ended up creating the technology to do just that. And what we ended up creating was patent pending Duraflow technology. We used that to create the most black tea on the market. Underdog hemp perfectly grips your arms, perfectly grips your chest, hides your dad bod, hides your gut. So if you have a little bit of a dad bod, you're gonna look still jacked. Curved hem, stitch density is perfected, everything down to the little minute details we have perfected on this black tea.
All right, well, I'm sold, man. Right on.
The way Underdog approaches this format is exceptional. They make the founder story very personal, very emotional, very relatable for people going through fertility issues. When the founder gets on camera, shares why they started the company, what drove them to solve the problem, it humanizes the brand completely. If you're the founder and you want to get on camera, do it. If you're working with a brand and the founder wants to get involved, push for it. If this is done right, this is another S tier.
I thought it was Mom Life, but turns out it was definitely our water, and if your hair isn't hitting the same anymore, it's not your products, it's your water. Since switching to the Jolie shower head, my skin and hair have never felt shinier or healthier. Same routine, cleaner water.
The viewer sees the hands in frame, the natural perspective, like they're the one using the product. This is especially good for products that take a bit of time to use or to be set up, where showing the experience actually matters. It's not going to blow up your account on its own, but it's a reliable format that consistently adds value to your creative mix. Especially if your product looks and sounds satisfying in use, this is a great one. So I'll give it a B. You simply show the product. Very visual, very clean. This is excellent for clothing, jewelry, home goods, anything visually driven that doesn't require a lot of explanation. You just show it and it speaks for itself. For certain niches, this can genuinely carry the account. And given how easy it is to produce relative to the return, the effort to performance ratio here is excellent. So I'll have to give it an A, given the right niches. 5-star reviews, magazine features, press logos. This is a static ad showing people that others are using and loving your product. It's a solid repurposing play. You can take angles that are already working in your video ads and turn them into a static quickly and cheaply. Does it work? Yes. Is it gonna carry the account on its shoulder? Probably not, in my experience, depending on some exceptions. It's supportive content, something that you layer on top of your actual drivers. I'll give it a C tier. Us versus them, you put your product side by side with your competition in a simple grid or comparison table showing exactly where you win. This can be really effective depending on your unique selling proposition. The power is in the clarity. What makes you better, faster, cheaper, but it has to be bold. If your comparison is lukewarm and the differences are minor, it won't move the needle. If executed properly, this deserves an A tier. Finally, we have the most aware audience. These are people who are on the edge before buying your product. They don't need education, they need a push. It's mostly about urgency, and these ads are closers. This is the urgency and scarcity play. You're essentially telling people that your product sells out, it's been restocked, and now's the time to move if they want to buy it. Social proof delivered through urgency. Good for urgency, good for creating demand signal, and works very well for viral products or anything with a strong pull. The only thing you need to be very careful with is that the urgency has to be real, because fake urgency erodes trust faster than almost anything else can. Given this caveat, I'll give it a B tier. The Pod Company does a great job with these ads, and we've created a lot for them. What I love about this is the production side. You don't need a graphic designer. You can use Nano Banana to generate a batch of these ideas in literally minutes. It's not going to carry your account on its shoulders, but it adds great diversity and it's fast to produce. So considering everything, this is another B tier. This one captures the excitement of receiving the product for the first time, the anticipation, the reveal, the first impression. It's especially good for products on the higher end of the price point or anything where the packaging is part of the experience. You don't want to script it, show what makes the product special in the first few seconds. This is not an A, it's not an S, but a reliable piece of content that adds diversity. So we put it on the B tier. And finally, ugly ads. Our designer quit, our marketing team walked out, raw and intentionally rough looking creative. The idea is that it feels honest and it breaks the pattern. I've seen this format do big numbers for certain brands, and the novelty factor can work. Some brands can absolutely pull it off. Can every brand do it? No. To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan personally, because it's more of a gimmick that works once, maybe twice, but it's not a sustainable strategy for most brands. So in this case, I'll give it a C. There you have it, every major type of ad creative ranked and organized by the stage of awareness your customer is in. So you know not just what to run, but also when to run it. The big takeaway here, it's not about running every format. It's about knowing which ones match your product, your audience, and where your customer is in their journey, and then building an ecosystem that targets all levels of awareness. If you want to learn how to actually create some of the formats I talked about in this video and actually go from some pixels you see on a screen to your actual ad, then click right here on the screen. This is a full free course on creating video ad creatives you can watch right here on YouTube for free. If this is the real bottleneck in your business and you're serious about solving it, I'll see you over there.